Brother Moriel, Brother Rodney. Great seeing everyone here already. Shalom, Sister Romy. Good seeing you. Everyone, good seeing everyone. Great seeing you, Chris G. Great blessings to you as well. All praises, Brother Sly. Great seeing you, Hot Shot. All praises.
Time for dedication, uniting all the nations. They go busting out for patience, cooking pizza, having aprons. Angelic in my cadence, these causes separations. Shining light, moving blatant. Breaking God, been waiting. Initiating stations, pyramids, rising vibrations. Open up your heart to my Lord right now. Hard with your legs, how to bring.
All right, family, we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got plenty of people already here. All praises to the Most High. You guys have to, I have one of the worst drives in the nation every morning to go to work. One of the busiest drives in the nation. So I try to go live if I can, if I get to work early enough, around 7:30 West Coast time. So even if you don't get notified, jump on and look and see if I'm live or if I have something set up. I know they're not notifying people, but I can't. And I try to set it up earlier, than before I leave the house. Sometimes that's what I did today. So it might say I'm going to start at a certain time, but I try to start around the same time. It might say 7 o'clock my time, but I might not start till 7:30. So just so you understand, and I'm kind of beholden to traffic and weather and everything else. Okay, so just letting you guys know. So just come and look around this time during the week, and we'll go from there. I know that YouTube is tripping. I told you guys like a couple, like last week, like 3 videos were all exactly the same numbers: 10,000 views, 1.4 thousand likes, and almost all of the comments were exactly the same. So they're messing with everything. And if I do a video, if I do it like really close to each other, the previous video will just stop moving. So that's just how these people are working right now. Okay, they're removing likes. They don't allow people to do. I only get a certain amount of likes, and that's it. And then anytime you try to push the like button after that, it doesn't work, because they're trying to make sure this word doesn't get out, which is like dumb, because YouTube, we don't need just YouTube. Things are getting out on the ley lines. They're getting moved, through the spirit. It's not just you guys. You guys are really thinking you guys are really running these things. You've been in charge of hiding numbers. Has it stopped your judgment? Has it stopped the destruction that's falling upon your heads? Absolutely not. It's not stopping any of that. Even other brothers and sisters who do videos, their videos get the same amount of likes or the same amount of views almost every single time. Is it really stopping what's happening to you? No, not at all. Is it really stopping the transfer of power from you to the Most High's people again? Absolutely not. So all you're doing is just marking yourself for more destruction. That's all that you're doing. The Holy Spirit has us communicating without having to even see each other, talk to each other. We're on the same wavelength because that is who we are. Which is a perfect segue to what we're going to talk about. Reparations. We're cracking up because they're all like, well, we're going to try to have a conversation. This is a great way for us to open up a conversation about reparations. Who are you going to have a conversation with exactly? Who are the people that you seem to think that you're going to have a conversation with about reparations? Are you going to have a conversation with the Hamites because they're black people? You're going to have a conversation with Blassels, the black vassals? You see what I'm saying? Is that what you're going to do? No. Because the Most High is not dealing with those people. You're going to have a conversation with the black cops that show out for the Europeans so that they can show how down they are by, being harder on their own people. Are those the ones you're going to have a conversation with? The politicians, the Jesse Jacksons, the Al Sharptons, are those the people that you're going to be having conversations with? The Jay-Z's, the Drakes, the Kendrick Lamars, are those the people, the LeBron Jameses of the world, are those the people you're going to have conversations about reparations with? See, this is why you can never, ever try to give reparations. I heard someone saying, oh, they're talking about giving every black person $350,000. So you're going to give those to the cops who have already been going against our people? You're going to be giving those to the politicians that have been going against our people? You're going to go get that to the money of the black pastors that have been getting perks to lie to us about everything? You see, you can't give us reparations because you've already given reparations to the vast majority of the so-called black people. That is the whole point. This is why you can't give reparations, because then you will have to admit that not all black people are the same. And that's the whole thing. You just like to having this conversation with the Latinos. The Latinos are now complaining about how Trump is treating them, how the whole deportation thing is going, how it's unfair. And so that they can have a voice. They can say things like, well, we work hard and we have good family values. Why are you deporting us? See, this is why you have Hamites running those videos. Because they don't say, well, you've been teaching us, you've been doing this to us black people. They haven't been doing shit to you, Ham. No one's been doing anything to you, except, in fact, they actually send money to you. They've been sending money to you, Hamites. They've let you play along with being the people who sold us into slavery. But see, this is all a sham so that they can try to have a conversation between Psalms 83. So that the Latinos can have a conversation with the Hamites, and the Hamites can be like, well, look, it's about coming together. They always try to, well, now they've learned their lesson and now they want to come together. So, we should think about coming together. See, this is what happens when you try to have Hamites run the situation, run the conversation. See, you're not going to come and have a conversation like that with someone like myself. See, we are the ones that you need to be trying to cleave to, and it's not come together like the way you think. You can come together with Ham because Ham and you have already been together. Ham has already been with Psalms 83. So you guys are all doing the same things together. See, it's different from someone like myself. This is why you're not going to have a conversation with someone like me, because I'm going to, the Most High has already given me so much knowledge and understanding. There's no way that you can even have a conversation about, well, I get it now. Well, we understand your plight now, black people. So you can say that to Hamites, or you can say that to Blassels, because the Blassels have already sold out, and so have the Hamites. But we who have been awakened, we were not allowed to sell out. We were never allowed to be part of your churches. We were never allowed to be part of your high society. You see what I'm saying? Equality is not righteous because you guys have to pay for what you've done to our people. You see, when they say things like, oh, they have good values and things like that, you don't see Ham like, hey, hold on, good values. You go to a church that rapes children and you're quiet about it, so therefore you're complicit. Those are good values? You hear Ham talk about that? Oh, well, we're hardworking people. You're hardworking people? Hold on. You guys know that you guys have only been these hardworking people for the last few decades, right? Who's been the ones that have been the hardworking people for the last few centuries? Who has been the ones that who have really, they said, oh, this land was built by immigrants. No, this land was built by the original people of these lands. That would be us. That's who built these lands. We were the hardworking people. So don't try to come with now, all of a sudden now the Mexican people are the hardworking people. So you do that in order to hide the fact that we were the ones who worked hard for free, that you never recompensed, that you never gave money to, you never fulfilled any of your promises to. You broke every treaty with our people. You see what I'm saying? So this is why you can't have a conversation with a true Israelite. You can have a conversation, you can let Ham run it, because Ham is going to let you say whatever you want to say and not challenge you. I'll challenge every single one of you when you sit there and say some bullshit like we're hardworking people, as if somehow implying we're not, when we built everything for free and never got compensated. We were the original people that did the jobs that nobody wanted to do. You see, but this is how Psalms 83 gets around that, by having Ham bring out videos of the Latinos saying the things that, and they can just say whatever, and there's no pushback. You see what I'm saying? So you're saying that, what, you're the only hardworking people? Yeah, that's a lie. Let me know when you Latinos and any other group, Asians, East Indians, who all of a sudden now you guys are all hardworking, do it for free for 500 or 600 years. Do all that work for free. You're getting paid. Do all that work for free. Okay? And then while you're doing it for free, make sure you let the white man come in and rape your woman in front of you. Make sure you let the white man come and rape your children in front of you. Right? Oh, yeah, and then go ahead and make sure when they're done raping and whatever else, they sell your daughter here. They sell your wife here. And then they do that from generation to generation to generation. Let me know when they do that to you for a few hundred years. And then you can tell us about how hardworking you are and how you built this country and everything else. And then take your land for exactly, give you a whole new identity and have everybody hate you. Yep, cut off their members, exactly, all that. So miss me with the Latinos are such hardworking people when we did it all for hundreds of years, not decades, for free, and got treated like shit the whole time. You guys are getting treated worse than some people, but they still allow you to be members of the society, and they still allow you to work here and get paid and send money back to your homeland, and they didn't destroy your knowledge of who you are. See, this is why they have to have Hamites running those videos, because a Hamite does not have a leg to stand on talking about, well, hold on. Before you say something about your family values, let's talk about your churches. They're not going to do that because they worship white Jesus too. They're not going to talk about how they're hardworking when I can say, well, we've been working much harder because we worked 6-7 days a week, sun up to sundown, under the worst conditions, and they didn't even care if we died. And then yesterday there was a story I saw on CNN about this Latina young lady who, I think when she was 11-year-old, and she killed herself because of ICE, and she was worried about ICE and things like that. Tragic story, really sad. I get it, but that shit has been happening to our people for hundreds of years. In fact, when you Spaniards got here, you were chasing after our women and our men and our families. You would come to a city, and our women would kill their own kids and kill themselves rather than be taken into slavery by the Spaniards. So that mental anguish that 11-year-old felt when she committed suicide recently. Our people have been dealing with that mental anguish for hundreds of years, since the time that the Spaniards showed up here. Did we get any stories about that? They said, nah, get over it. No. In fact, why don't you forgive the people that, have caused you this anguish without them even asking for it? That's the kind of shit we've been dealing with. You see what I'm saying? So this is why you can't put, people's complaining about stuff and going through and talking to us about it. Because whatever you talk about, whatever you think that you're going through, we have gone through a millionfold, and no one has cared. Red Summer, a buck breaking, all of that, gator bait, all of that. See, you guys are barely, a month in to Trump's presidency, and you guys are already like being beaten down and complaining about this and complaining about that. We've gone through this stuff for hundreds of years, not just by the colonizers, but also from the vassals. Because you vassals went ahead and made a covenant with them, and you have been, going against our people this whole time. How do you think it was every February for Black History Month, for us growing up, when every time Black History Month, it's always about roots and slavery, and everybody looked at us, turned and gave us those looks and those smirks in class. How they thought that they were better than us because we were enslaved, and they thought they were better because their people had us in slavery. But we had to do what? We had to just persevere. Maybe some of our people did commit suicide because of the things that they saw, they had to go through. Remember that. Laughing, right? All of that. The teasing that we had to deal with. If you go to a school, damn it, if you go to a school and you're like one of the only Black kids in the whole school, that happened to me quite a bit. So we always had people that were always like mean to us, and none of the teachers really did anything to protect us. We just had to suck it up, as they always told us. It was a lesson for us to learn. That's what they told us. Now, we're just telling you the same thing. Yeah, we feel bad for you, man. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I know, it's tough. Yeah. Well, welcome to us. Mental, physical, financial, emotional abuse, everything. Entertain. So when you talk about reparations, we're just going to give a check to everybody. That's not going to stop your judgment. It's returning everything to the Israelites. Not returning anything to Blassels. They already got their payment. It's not to return anything to Ham. Ham didn't go through what we went through. They can just shut up and dribble. That's exactly it. You're not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to have a breakdown about anything. You see what I'm saying? So anything and everything you guys are complaining about, we can go a millionfold, trillionfold over that. So give me the whole, they work hard. They do the jobs you don't want to do. They got good values. You better give me more than that. The only way that you're going to be able to stay is when you are starting to cleave to someone like myself who's in this truth, and not the camps who are still pushing. I was sharing, Brother Moriel and Brother Sly shared this video, this GMS member, and they're still pushing the whole Jacob's trouble coming in the future. See, that's the problem. Y'all run around with the Bible and make it sound like the Bible is 100% truth. The Bible is 100% truth. You're right. The Bible has a lot of truth in it. The problem is, just like a church, your interpretation is not 100% truth. That is where you guys get it mixed up. That just like the churches, they walk around with the Bible and talk about how like it's the truth, it's the truth, it's the truth. But then they give all these horrible interpretations of it. Like how they got Jacob's trouble and they got them getting raptured out of that book, which is not talking about any of that. So it's not that the Bible is wrong, it's your interpretations are wrong. And the fact that there's all this truth coming out and all this information coming out and you don't change, That there shows you that you are working for the other team. And you need other books in order to confirm things that are in the Bible that are not in there. There are other parts of these stories that are not in the Bible that they've left out on purpose. And even people in these camps are still pushing the same BS that the churches. Oh, we got it all right here. Even though 2 Corinthians 14 tells you there's going to be other books at the end. Great hanging out with everyone. And continue to do your magic. Continue to decide which crafts you want to use on the other nations. And do that. Because you're going to have to admit this whole truth. Stop trying to use any and every other black person to try to manipulate and try to get your story out. See, that's why you use Ham, to get your story out. Oh, look at what's happening to them. They're hardworking. They're this and that. Oh, look, I said, Ham's not going to question you. Ham is not going to, push you on those statements. But I will. And you know what's going to happen? We know what you're going to do? Exactly what you've been doing. Hiding numbers, hiding stuff, and trying to ignore. You can't ignore me. You can't ignore my people. You can't ignore me on my own land. You can't ignore what I'm bringing out. All that's going to do is bring more destruction on you. And you should look at your kids. You look at your children. Because you are the one that's screwing it up for them, just like your parents screwed it up for you by not telling you the truth. We're telling you the truth now, and you're trying to hide it or ignore it. If not for yourself, you should be thinking about your children and what they're going to have to see. Because the switch is already here. And just like the other brothers and sisters that are in this truth now, who are bringing out this information, we are the ones you're going to have to deal with. Not Ham and not the Blassels. Much love, family. Shalom.